Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is Saturday, February the 11th, and this is our return to Vegas baby. Looking at Caesars, MGM, WYNN, and LVS. Oh, and Boyd. And we're going to start off with Caesars, which is a CZR. This is a newcomer to Vegas baby, newcomer to the market after its years and years of being privately owned. And we simply do not have enough data to constitute secondary indicators. So we only have 3 days of candles to work with, and at first glance, it's not exactly pretty. Um, I mean, it had its huge IPO, and after that, it's just been a matter of selling. So, which is normal. This is going to have to stabilize, and we're going to have to get our secondaries on board once it has enough data to do so, and to actually evaluate where it is. It should be noted that only a small number of shares were released, aiding the giant pop that it had. And over the next couple of months, I was reading that everyone else that already has shares is going to be able to sell. So, not exactly a great equity to get in at this moment. Moving right along to something a little more concrete. Boyd. Yeah, we haven't been looking at this in a while. But as you can see, 14-day RSI moving average curling on down, stochastics on the way down, CCI on the way down, RSI on the way down, MACD on the way down, histogram on the way down. Not a pretty sight. It has just finished a bubble corrective move as of Thursday. And now, yes, it's doing a bullish engulfing of that candle. But with all the secondaries saying that things are not good, going down to 8.5 for a bar retest is very likely. If we want to get a better feel for what's going on with this thing, I'm going to look at the VWAP, and it is below its current VWAP, although everything is turning down. So unless there's a big falling apart, it should attempt to go back to the VWAP, which is currently at 9.2, actually just a hair above that. So perhaps that'll be enough for it to stabilize. But it has had a great run, and to examine how that run is structured, we're looking at volume at price, and we can see that it is sitting right on top of its sole buying area at this moment. Below it, there isn't much to catch it until you get down to about 7.5. So break the level it's sitting at right now. Definitely a very, very good shot at a retest of the bar, and even going into the bar for a to get caught where it should be caught. Below that, if the bar fails, we're looking at 625 to 650, and actually that 650 level looks pretty good. Moving on to the most interesting one at the moment, which is MGM. This one has had the strongest run for whatever reason. It ended with a bullish engulfing on Friday. Short-term moving averages all pointing up. Not much in the way of excessive separation or wobble, so it does have that going for it. It is above the upper price consensus level. We do have the 14-day RSI moving average ticking down, although we still have the stochastics moving up. CCI hanging out high, RSI ticking down but hanging out high, MACD ticking up, and the histogram going sideways. This does look strong. Question becomes, is it overheated? To that end, look at the VWAP, and we'll see that it is above the VWAP, although everything is pointing up. So at some point, it should have a revert to $14 area, which isn't too far away. And if we're looking at the strength of this move, looking at the volume at price, we can see that there isn't really a good support until about just shy of the $13 area and the 1330 area. So having it do a bubble corrective move, it should get caught at the conclusion of that move. But if it does happen to break the $13 area, there isn't too much to stop it until about 1175 and at 11. So, and then going way down to about 1025. When you look at it in these terms, it definitely looks overheated in terms of support. Here we are with WYNN. This one is very interesting because WYNN is widely regarded as the best company of the Vegas stocks, and it has just had this choppy action where it is combating the long-term moving averages, getting above them, so getting sucked back into them, and at the moment appears to be developing into a double flat line. It is below the major price consensus level. It is below the middle Bollinger Band. We have the 14-day RSI moving average ticking down. Stochastics low trying to turn around, down on the RSI, down on the histogram, down on the MACD, down on the CCI. Not what you would expect from the strongest Vegas stock, but it is what it is. 13.2. Looking at its VWAP, we can see that it's pretty darn close to its VWAP, which would suggest that it is fairly priced at the moment. And if we look at its volume, we can see that it really is in a push-pull environment. We have strong support at 110 and just below it at about 107. But we also have selling pressure up here at just shy of 125. So it is stuck between these two levels, which is going to help prevent it from moving all over the place. Hence the double flat line. Moving on to LVS, also a winner lately, very similar to MGM with the run that it's had. It hasn't been quite as strong, but it is more than decent. We did end up with a downtick on Friday, giving us a target of about 50-50. And 14-day RSI moving average is still ticking up. Stochastics on the way down, along with the CCI, the RSI, the histogram, and the MACD, all pointing down. This is a very good stock. If we look at its VWAP, we can see that it is pretty fairly priced in respect to its VWAP, and everything is pointing up. If we look at its volume at price, we can see that we should have some support down here at 47.50 roundabout, which is almost a bar retest. We have sporadic buying in between here and there, but nothing too major. And we can also see that it should have a strong floor down here at 42.50 roundabout. And that isn't the only place where it could have a floor. I mean, there is significant pressure in here in the 46 to 44 area, but nonetheless, the question is the market overheated? Does it need a correction? If it does, these are good targets to have. Now beyond this, the daily is really nice to look at. What if we look at the 60-minute? Do we have negative divergence? Well, in LVS, we certainly do. In the MACD histogram, we certainly have it in the RSI. We do have it in the CCI. We do have it in the 14-day RSI moving average. So it does suggest that we are overheated. Doesn't necessarily mean it has to turn around. If we look at WYNN in the 60-minute time frame, do we have negative divergence? No, we do not. We certainly do not. So at least WYNN has that going for it. If we look at MGM, we have it in the 14-day RSI moving average. We have it in the stochastics. We have it in the CCI. We have it in the MACD histogram. Is this overheated? Sure looks like it to me. Um, and Boyd. Do we have negative divergence here? No, we don't. It has been weak enough that that is not an issue. So LVS and MGM overheated, and we're going to be waiting to see when they decide to take their bow and take some profits. And that's it. A quick and dirty look at Vegas, baby. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video are for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you.